Beats Planet.
Your mama sure does care about your schooling, son.
What's up, y'all? What's good, y'all? Y'all probably haven't heard the war call in a minute. It's all right. It's okay. Me and Will Steele we vacated in theory, because the key word in vacation is to vacate. We vacated in theory. But if you tune into all the links that Voch like to, keep y'all privy to, then you probably, said a lot to me, or you watched a lot of my content, or you watched me play the game, you watched us talk about hip hop, you watched us react to John Jones beating up on Cyril Gunn. You know what I'm saying? You was definitely shouts out to John Jones, by the way. Shouts out to Chris Rock, by the way. Shouts out to everybody got big W. Shouts out to Nolan Smith, by the way. Can we talk about Nolan Smith? I just want to talk about Nolan Smith today. I wasn't even supposed to be talking about Nolan Smith today, but boy, y'all gonna hit my face when we talk about this Nolan Smith and this damn combine thing. We're not talking all combine, because we got days that we got to talk about certain things. And I wouldn't dare rush the content because we got all week to talk to y'all about this. We really gonna stretch this product out, but boy, y'all gonna hear some Nolan Smith related conversation for me today. But today, me and Will Steele was gone for a long ass time, and me and Will didn't consider this. But on Combine Week, a lot of shit happens, right? So when shit was happening, Will Steele was moving boxes, and Voch was like taking a nap somewhere, right? And y'all was like, Voch, Will Steele, y'all wasn't supposed to take a break while Combine stuff was going on. Y'all was supposed to take a break when nothing was happening. What you want me to say? What you want me to say? It is what it is.
I don't mind it though, because it's the combine stuff is so much being thrown at you, and a lot of it's nonsense. But then you get a few dudes like Nolan Smith in Washington that make you go, huh.
Now, we're going to talk about Darnell Washington 3 out of the 4 days this week.
Hey, I might have to switch up my thoughts on tight end over that.
Will Steele, of my 4 days written down, I got 3 days for us to say something about Darnell Washington to some capacity. Darnell Washington, tight end from Georgia. Lord have mercy, Will Steele. We're going to talk about him at some point, but Jerry Jones had a lot of quotes. Voch ain't gonna repeat none of them because Jerry just goes out spewing his nonsense. We don't really gain information from that, but I did get some good information from Mike McCarthy talking. We're gonna talk about that. Tyron Smith is back. I think that happened over the break. I'm kind of just gonna touch on that for a little bit, not too long. And the big Jerry Jones conversation that he was talking about was about your 2 running backs, and the news actually came across the ticker a little bit ago that Tony Pollard is actually franchise tagged. Now, Will, that don't mean he signed the franchise tag, right? That just mean the Cowboys hit franchise tag button. Oh shit! Go ahead.
I had to hit the news button when you said it though. It just felt right.
It felt right.
Yeah, so they haven't officially placed it, but they will place the franchise tag. They have to do it by 3 p.m. tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And there's no contract. It's just a placeholder to July 15th.
And there's a lot of debate that comes along with that. It just seems like the Joneses are just hustling backwards. So we'll have that conversation. But before we have that conversation, Master William, how you doing, sir? You good? You all right? How's the settling down and all that?
It was a busy, wild, crazy week of moving, but when you move into a place that you really, you love, it's fine, right? You deal with the moving stuff. So I'm good to go, man. Ready to roll.
Well, I will say this, Will Steele, and I say this as humbly as possible. We not poor anymore, so we can hire movers now. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day when I ain't have it, and I had to carry a couch up 3 flights of stairs. My dad and my uncles, they all like, hey man, you're lazy, pick that couch up. And those were 40-year-old men, but now I'm 31 over the weekend, and I work for the volume now. When it's time to move, boy.
Well, listen, I call it cherry picking. You get older, you start cherry picking, and when you hooping, I was cherry picking. Hey, that go right there. Bring this in. Mm-hmm. You was point guard for real. Straight to the back. Yep, straight to the back.
All you gotta do is look and make sure they're not dropping boxes too heavy. You know what I mean?
And I think one of them might have stole my my box cutter too. I ain't too fond of that one there, but like nonetheless, that. Man, I ain't like that. But other than that, the move went great.
One of them motherfuckers going rob a gas station with your name engraved on that motherfucker.
It was a fresh dope box cutter too. That was bad.
Yo, volume. He don't work here. I don't know. Will still. I'm gonna bail you out, man. My bad, man. I'm gonna call the plug.
Yeah,
man.
I was trying to go to jail for a different reason. I wasn't trying to go to jail for that. Yeah.
Hey, yo, Will's there. I was like, damn, dog, Will in jail. Brumley. Yo, Will, I'm not gonna lie, cause look, the last 5 emergencies I've had, chat, y'all laughing.
It's
y'all
real,
laughing.
bro.
The last 5 work-related crises I've had, I've gone. And Brumley shows up in a suit.
Fam, I would never ever doubt Brumley. I mean, I never did him in general, but dude comes through.
I did.
No, he came through for us, bro.
I was like, there's no way Brumley's gonna take. Oh, okay. So our flight gets delayed, and oh my goodness, we ain't got nowhere to stay, and I'm gonna have to sleep on the floor of the hotel. Boy, there's no way Brumley's gonna bail us. Next thing you know, we have a nice hotel to stay in. Yeah. Boy,
you tell Brumley I'm in jail. He gonna be like, motherfucker, for what? And how much?
And Brumley coming to get us. Brumley coming to get us up out of there, man. Brumley, we love you, man. Brumley said he was gonna be tuned in one of these days for the Anthony Richardson conversation. That's Tuesday. We definitely gonna break him down. But let's get into some work, man. Will Steele, what other show can just start off like that?
Not many, I know.
Come on, man. How do we want to start this? Will Steele got a sound effect for everything on his show, so we about to change topic. Something on Will's goes. Psh. Anyway,
talking about stuff.
Yeah, Will got a button for everything. Look, we laughing today, but me and Will still haven't talked in a while. You're like, we text, but we ain't talked in a while. So this is just the energy we on. Yeah. Whoosh. Jerry Jones bothered the shit out of everybody, man.
Oh Lord.
Jerry bothered the shit out of everybody. I don't really pay attention to Jerry nowadays. You know what I mean? Jerry just I think Jerry does this for his own ego. Yeah. Jerry does this to feel important. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, if somebody, like, hey, we'll just run into what's his name at some team appointed day, then that's when they'll ask, regular owners questions or GMs questions. Jerry Jones sits in the chair and wants everybody to surround him like his grandkids and shit, so he can tell stories. Like, all right, y'all, listen, this is what I got to say for the day.
Damn, that's a great analogy, bro.
That's what it is. And Jerry just wanted to pour his little heart out, And honestly, I don't think Jerry is the key to what's really going on. I just think Jerry just really is an old dude that just want to give his thoughts. And we hear things from Jerry. We be getting mad, but it don't matter. It don't matter, because what's going to happen is the financial side of things, or the Will McClay Stevens side is going to kick in, and Jerry's words ain't going to matter. So when Jerry say shit like, and look, these are like Voch Lombardi quotes. This ain't like professional reporting exactly what Jerry Jones said. This is Voch's interpretation of it. Oh, I love Zeke so much, boy. That would love to be. I would love some type of situation where I could have Zeke back, right? Jerry Jones started saying some shit like that, and Cowboy Nation goes, "Oh no, Zeke, $10 million on the salary." You know what I'm saying? In real life, it'll be so hustling backwards, Will. I don't even foresee a world where Zeke is a Cowboy next year. And me and Okoye got to fight. And since you, tapped into your new situation, there may be cause for a new roundtable soon.
Yep.
But Will, I just kept watching running backs, bro. I just kept watching running backs. The combine came on. I watched some more running backs on patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. We started watching Tajay Spears and shit. And I'm like, oh.
I got a new pet cat at running back, man.
Please, sir.
The Illinois kid.
I don't know that motherfucker.
Brown. His name is check him out. Chase Brown. I almost said Chris Brown.
I know Chase.
Chase
cool.
Brown.
I know Chase Brown. Haven't watched him yet, but I know Chase Brown. Will, it is impossible. It is impossible to watch film on these up and coming running backs, whether it be Charbonnet, Gibbs, Bijan not gonna be there, but cool. But even Bijan's backup, Rashawn Johnson, Eric Gray, Tank Bigsby, Tajay Spears, and look, I'm not just naming names because they just on the running back list. I'm naming them names because I feel like they can start for you. There's no way you watch them kids and you go back and cut some Zeke on. I love Okoye to pieces. We're going to have to fight about this on the roundtable at some point. I love Okoye to pieces. There's no way you watch them kids and then go watch Zeke film and go, Man, I think I can hold on to Zeke for another. Shit, I think Zeke got another couple years in the tank. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I want to hear nothing about Zeke. Yeah. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, right? I love cousin Tony. We share a last name. Love cousin Tony. We're not cousins for real. People at the hotel thought we was cousins though. But this little franchise tag for $10 million or however much it is, I say that $10 million, bro, and just draft two running, or just draft a running back and undrafted free agent, another running back, and put them dudes with Malik Davis and just run it. And just run it. And I've been back and forth on this whole thing, man. Now, in real life, Will Steele, what this means, Tony Pollard franchise tag, I don't know if they trying to do a long-term deal for real with Tony, or if, all right, we're going to put Tony on a 1 year, draft somebody, and Tony's going to be the bridge for the next dude.
Yep.
Even I'd hate that, right? But a long-term deal with Tony Pollard don't make sense, especially since I keep watching these damn running backs, Will Steele.
Watch, we could be looking at the tight end situation that we had last year with Dalton Schultz, where I think they wanted to protect themselves with Dalton Schultz, so they tagged him, but they knew all along we are not going to re-sign him long term, especially if we hit on the guys we want in the draft. They went out, got Jake Ferguson, brought in the other cat from undrafted free agency, and now we're going to let him walk. I wonder if they do the same thing, tag TP, draft a couple backs, and let's boogie.
Darnell Washington.
That changes things a little bit. We'll get to him.
We'll get to him.
Because he messing up my whole baby Kelsey thing. Okay.
Not for me though. Not for me. But we'll eventually get there at some point.
Put a pin.
I got sound clips and everything, but we'll eventually get there. Let me write that down. Let me just touch on tight end for 2 seconds when I get there. But to that Dalton Schultz point, though, Will Steele, Cowboys do like to protect themselves, right? They do like to put themselves in situations where they want to have a guy in case that when draft comes around, they can't get a guy. But man, it's so many guys, and I do want to be careful when I say this, though, Will Steele. Let me just dial this back and be careful. I know that the common theme is that you can get any running back and plug them into your system and they'll be fine. I do feel like you can find good backs, but they still got to be like a good enough back for you.
Yeah.
Right. You could be like Isaiah Pacheco, 7th round, but for every Isaiah Pacheco, it's like 10 Mike Webbers that just don't make it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to look at your running back room and be like, all right, I'm cool with this running back room. Because you could draft a Zach Charbonnet and then not work out for you, or like an Eric Gray, Rashawn Johnson, and then not work out for you. So at least if you have Tony Pollard on your team, you go, well, damn, this is a dude that works out for me, right? So you'll have Tony, and then when you see the dude behind him and he's actually good, you go, all right, yo, Tony, that long-term deal we was talking, psych. And then you just move this new dude in for his, 4 or 5 years or whatever, right? But when Jerry talks about this world of Zeke and Tony Pollard back, I think it's hustling backwards. I don't mind some new running back having to share snaps with Tony. I don't care how much money Zeke get. Zeke can get veteran minimum, which he's not going to sign for. Zeke can get veteran minimum. I don't see a world where Zeke and anybody.
Yeah.
Who the best running back in the league? Christian McCaffrey. It could be Zeke and Christian McCaffrey. No, I'm good. I would have rather Christian McCaffrey and Malik Davis. That's just where I'm at with Zeke right now. Love Zeke. Zeke did some great things, but Jerry can be like, I would love Zeke to come back, but I don't see the Will McClay, especially the Will McClay side. I don't see Will. I don't see Will. Steven, right? I don't see both those guys looking at Will, looking at the player, and Stephen Jones looking at the money.
Yep.
I don't see those two situations making sense for me. You have some on that, Will, still?
No, I agree. There never ever was a world, in my opinion, a real life world where both of these guys return, especially with Tony Pollard on a franchise tag. If that happens, I don't know how you could look at this as anything other than personnel malpractice. Like you just can't have right now. I think it's something like $23 million on a cap to running backs. That's absurd. Number one, if you're just talking about cap space,
that's Jalen Ramsey.
It's nutty. But if you're just talking about the players in general, again, Voch, is he willing to take a reduced role? A big back, goal line, short yardage, 10, 11 carries tops a game. Is he willing to do that for $3, $4, $5 million? And even if, right, do you think you might be losing out on one of these young backs who are also some powerful, tough, run hard backs that could give you a little bit more pop? Like Malik Davis is not some slouch 175-pound running back, dog. I'm not saying Malik is better than Zeke or anything like that, but I'd be willing to say, let me give him like 5 or 6 carries to see if he can handle this physical role, if he can handle not only the physical role, but the ability to pop something from here and there. So I just don't see how it makes sense to bring them all back, man.
Yeah, fair enough. Over the week while we were gone, Master William, we got worried about another old man that we was thinking about cutting that was going to save us a whole bunch of money, and they were just like, So Tyron Smith, right? Word came out. Stephen Jones was asked about it. Stephen Jones like, yeah, man, we expect Tyron back. Funny though, I don't have this clip, but y'all gonna find this clip. Go to DallasCowboys.com. They do good work. Stephen Jones kind of alluded to the idea that, hey, if we need to do something with money, we can. If we need to restructure, resign, move some things around, and we can do that with Tyron. But the idea of Tyron being there, Stephen Jones was cool with that. They didn't see Tyron Smith as a dude that they were gonna try to use to get money for. So that $10 million that was talking about saving with him, that's not gonna be a thing. So if Tyron Smith is back, I'm assuming he's not gonna be a right tackle for you. I'm assuming Tyron Smith is gonna be a left.
No, I'm just bemoaning. Go ahead.
You would expect that Tyron Smith is going to be a left tackle for you. Now, Will Steele, why are you upset? The one thing that's good about Tyron Smith being a left tackle is that I don't think Conor McGovern comes back. That's the one thing that got me excited about Tyron Smith. But I would like us to make a decision on Tyler Smith.
That part annoys me right there.
I would like for us to kind of settle down with him. If this is going to be the world that we live in, like, okay, we have a veteran left tackle. Tyron is a shell of himself at this point, but this is who we're going to be at left tackle, and Tyler is at guard. Then cool. When I hear about the players that the Cowboys are visiting with for the combine, I don't want to see no guards, because if you're going to live in this world where Tyron Smith is coming back and we're expecting to go through another year of Tyler Smith, okay, cool. If Tyler's a guard for 17 games, I want him to be a guard, right? And I do think the Cowboys are there protecting themselves, but I do think that they're looking for both. They're looking for guards and tackles. If you go to Bobby Belt on Twitter, he's done a good job of putting out the guys that Cowboys have been talking to. But like Broderick Jones from Georgia, who is a tackle, but they've also talked to Andrew Voorhees, who tore his ACL during the field drill.
Oh, it was ACL.
ACL. I would still draft him though, and just like redshirt him or whatever. Steve Avila, TCU, they love him. John Michael Smith, who they talked to, Minnesota center and guard guy, they've talked to him. Anton Harrison, left tackle from Oklahoma, like they've talked to all these guys. They've talked to guards and tackles. So in my mind, they're still putting Tyler Smith in this left side player zone. And that's the one thing that I don't like about it. I just want Tyler to have a job and to keep that job. Now, I don't mind Tyler at guard. That's my preferred spot for him. But if it's up to me, if Tyler's going to be at guard, I'm not looking for guards. I just want find me some tackles. Find me, these left side tackles, because Darnell, right, DeJuan Jones, those are right tackles. But find me some left tackles, Cowboys. But that's the one thing that is. So, Will, did you have something on that before we moved on to the next thing?
Here's some numbers.
Sure.
2, 11, 4. Those are the number of games that Tyron Smith has played the last 3 years.
Sure.
I just would never go into the season depending on him, relying on him, anything. Now, if he's willing to take a DeMarcus Lawrence situation where we're going to rip up the contract, you'll come back, you're on a very low salary, even lower than D-Laws, and you want to be a swing tackle, then we can have that conversation, right? Because the swing tackle is only going to play like 4 games. You hope. Yep. You hope they only play like 4 games and some snaps. But 2, 11, 4. Why? Why will we? I know he's on a friendly franchise left tackle deal. He's no longer a franchise left tackle. So now we're talking about paying 13, 14, 15 million, whatever it is, to a guy that's going to give you 6 games at above average play at this point. Tyron Smith is no longer that guy. So they got to make a decision on Tyler Smith. But what it sounds like when you were talking about what Steven said, and this may apply to Zeke, they might not make a decision on any of those dudes until after the draft. Because I don't know that they care about spending any money in free agency. They might just say, whatever. If we're going to cut these dudes, we'll designate them a June 1st cut. We won't see the money until after anyway.
Fair enough, Master William. Fair enough. I got some Mike McCarthy quotes, man. I just wanted to run it from you. Mike said a lot of shit, but I got 3 of them, man. I just want y'all to listen to what Mike McCarthy had to say. Mike McCarthy on his new offense and how much is going to change.
No, really, our approach so far is really going back to like day one. If we all just arrived there, obviously, we got a number of new coaches on the offense. So, yeah, we played really good offense the last 3 years. Like I said, you look at our numbers just in the run game from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. This is, I feel like we're in the arena of how we want to play. So it'll be really just building off of that. It's that, we're not looking to have more than probably 35% is kind of the number we've been hovering at, is how much change we want for the current players. So yeah, we're not looking to have wholesale changes.
Mike McCarthy, who's very out of breath right now, said that there would be 30 to 35% of change. And that I do like, right, Will Steele? Because we always talk about this offense. It's not a bad offense, but situationally, when different shit needs to happen, you know what I'm saying? It needs to happen, right? I liken it to this. I'll be playing Madden sometimes, right? I just be playing Madden. And there'll be some Madden things that I can do that'll put my entire team at risk. But I ultimately get the result that I want, right? So I may try to put up 50 some odd points in Madden, but I'm going for it on 4th and 15 and shit. You know what I mean? I'm throwing all bombs, Will Steele. I'm just throwing the ball in double coverage just to get my favorite wide receiver pass. Those things can get you the final result, like some final numbers that you're looking for, but it could be detrimental overall to the team.
Yeah.
Right. So when Mike McCarthy came out, and Jerry Jones kind of talked about this a little bit too, that they want to run more. Right. I don't think they want to take a weird Tennessee and we're going to try to do Derrick Henry things approach. But it's just that, hey, in every game, you win or lose that game in like 5 situations. Right. I ultimately think Mike McCarthy will just go through some of these game scripts, some of these game scenarios. And, times where we was trying to do some weird shit right here. Maybe we was trying to do like a double reverse triple Tony Pollard, Kevontae Turpin pass here. We was trying to do some dumb shit right there. We was trying to go down the field and attack the seams when we shouldn't have been attacking the seam right there, when we really should have just been setting up the next play. Or maybe it's 3rd and 7 and it's 4 down territory. So we run the ball on 3rd and 7 and try to get the 4th and 4 to try to make it easier for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Situationally, you have to run the ball sometimes. Situationally, you have to get a better play. Situationally, you got to dump down to the damn flats, Will Steele. Situationally, you might just need to hit the tight end on a short little something and not try to home run so much. That's what I think Mike McCarthy meant. He said, hey, man, I got a defense, bro, and my defense is spectacular. My defense is fantastic. But maybe when we try to over-aggressive something that puts the defense in a bad situation, and that's where points come from. Yeah. I know there's some Super Cooper truther roofers. What we call them?
Super Cooper truthers.
Yeah, them. They'll tell you that Dak Prescott's the reason why the defense started playing bad. But the more you listen to Mike McCarthy talk, yeah, I know, right? The more you listen to Mike McCarthy talk, man, Mike McCarthy said, hey, man, this defense can be elite if the offensive situational side is better, or if we don't do X, Y, Z. Or if we do this instead of doing that. So instead of trying to change the entire offense, I just think Mike wants to refine things a little bit. And that's what he was talking about. He had a quote. Well, did you have something before I move on to what he said about Brian Schottenheimer?
Yeah. People that getting their panties in a bunch on the quote, I get it because it sounds like we're going backwards, but I'm with you. I don't think this is about running the ball 40 times or, hey, we're going to stand behind the run all game type of situation. I think this is situational football. And he talked about it in his presser and he tried to gloss over it. It was hilarious. He said, conceptually, there were certain things situationally that, I just didn't agree with over the last 3 years. And, and he tried to gloss right over it. Basically, what he's saying is during the situational football, I did not agree a lot with what Kellen Moore was doing from a conceptual standpoint. And we said that how many times this year? Like, hey, this doesn't make sense to do backed up inside the 10 on 2nd and 20 after a sack. This doesn't make sense to do 2nd and 2 in the red zone after your star player goes down. This doesn't make sense to do 3rd and 10 to win the game, just make him call a timeout. There's so many different things throughout the games situationally that I think he disagreed with from a concept standpoint. And I think we'll see a little cleaner type of situation in those games. It may not be spread out 35 points a game, Voch, but if you can still score 26, 27 points per game, that's still top 5 in the league. Easy.
It could even be something simple as just running the ball with the right dude. You know what I mean? Give the ball to the right guy, let him run instead of the other guy. I don't know, man. He was talking about Schottenheimer. Let's see what he's talking about.
Brian Schottenheimer brings a tremendous lot. I think just like anything, when you're putting together a staff, particularly when you have staff changes, there's a personality, a connection, being in a leadership role, bringing people together. Everybody's style is different. That's universal. I think he has incredible people skills. He has that it when it comes to bringing people together. And then the football part of it, it's been fun. I think, Brian and I worked together, 25 so years ago. So, and it's been cool to see where he's gone with his path.
Do you think Mike McCarthy had fun working with Kellen Moore?
No. He if you go, I don't know if it's in that clip, but if you listen to his presser, he was like, this is the most fun I've had since I've been in Dallas. He said, I've been able to just go into the film room with the coaches and just talk about nothing and scheme. He didn't do that with Kellen Moore. So he definitely didn't have fun. He said it. I had the most fun with Shotty.
And if you have philosophical differences, that shit ain't gonna be fun.
No, because you in there and you have to take it.
Mm-hmm. Right. And Mike, I do like the idea that, hey, I've hired this dude to be my offense coordinator, play caller, do the job. You don't want to have a job and then have somebody over your shoulder while you're trying to do the job.
Right.
But if it's philosophical differences, man, every time Kellen said, yeah, let's get trips right. Turpin go in there. Let's get and as soon as Turpin run in, Mike go, oh, fuck, I know what he about to do.
Slamming his headset down. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That could be bad for your workplace morale. You know what I mean? Let's keep that clip going.
And from the base teachings that we learned under his father Marty, and how things have evolved. But once again, we're not throwing everything away. I mean, we have a lot of good to build off of. Number one with our players. The concepts have been established. It's really just our responsibility to make sure that we're clean and precise on the direction we're going. And he brings that experience and that knowledge, to the workplace.
He brings that experience,
yep,
and that knowledge to the workplace.
And he said that about Shotty and Dan Quinn a lot. He kept bringing up experience. You can tell he was tired of babysitting.
I want somebody that had done this before. Because earlier in the other clip, he said, oh, man, Schottenheimer doing that shit for Twitch, what 26 years or something. Kellen been doing this shit since Dak been here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. Listen, hold on. I got one more.
Well, change is never easy. I have a lot of respect. I think Kellen and I are obviously on two different ends of the spectrum. As far as experience.
Say it again.
That was me because Mike was talking shit to him at some point. But dog, we on two separate and Mike was in his bag right here. He said, "Bro, we on two different levels when it come to play call and I've seen much more defense than you. You may be a young little genius right now. You can probably put plays together in schemes, but dog, I've done this with many different types of quarterbacks. I've seen football evolve over the past 30 to 40 some odd years. I know how to attack defenses, bro. You attack defenses based on this rule book. I've done it before. Man, we gonna mess around and throw Kellen a look he ain't never seen before. Kellen may likely shell up and go back to some of his old ways, some of his weird little ways. Man, Mike McCarthy's gonna go. Man, I seen that shit before. You see what I'm saying? Like it's. I think Mike really believes in that. Mike believes in, hey man, let's just get the amateur shit out of here. And sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more, man. You a little phenom, man, but dog, less is more. Let me just put a little more nuance into this thing. You got floor and you got ceiling. We talk about this all the time with prospects. Yeah, Kellen's ceiling is through the roof because he has the brain for it, but I think Mike gives you a much higher, consistent game-to-game floor.
Yeah.
And bro, you ain't got to be a superhero, man. You ain't got to be a superhero on offense, man. Let Dan and them boys be superheroes. Let Mike and them guys go be superheroes, and you could just take what you get. Go ahead, Will. Still.
No, he didn't say the superhero thing, but he basically said, I've been where Kellen has been, where I'm trying to establish myself, and I just want to run it up, you know? Yeah. And that it sounds great, right? Like you obviously want to score points.
Sure.
But I think the Cowboys can score just as many points, just in a different way.
Yeah. You can
We've been there before.
Yes, you can get high offensive output without risking the rest of your team, without risking your kicking teams unit or your defense unit or whatever, right? You ain't got to have the number one offense in the league. You ain't got to have that number one track meet offense in the league, man. But if you hover around 8, you know what I mean? You hover around 8, but that means your defense go from 8th to 2nd or 1st or something like that. That's what you want, man. You want the overall product to be better.
How many times did we say, Voch, we don't care about the number one offense? We
had that before. We had that before and it got us nothing.
We've been there.
It got us nothing. This has actually happened before in history, though, Will. Still, you remember with the Saints, Drew Brees and them, we got that. Them boys was the number one offense for 3 years in a row, but they was 8-8. They was 8-8, right? But
those 9 or 7 and 9 years, yeah.
Them years, whatever that was, 7 and 9. But then they decided to focus on the run a little more. They decided to focus on being just a little more conservative on offense, and that defense became opportunist.
And I hate to use the term conservative, Voch, because Sean Payton ain't conservative. He's creative within it.
Sure. Okay. So like maybe that's a bad word, but more tactful.
Yeah. There we go. I like that one.
Sure, tactful. You know, he was a little more tactful with his approach, man. And you know, I remember being young. I mean, you was grown when this happened, but I was young, man. I was like, man, how do you have a number one offense 3 years in a row, but you get the same record, right? Because the overall product wasn't right, man. And I just think I think Mike McCarthy's gonna take that and just tweak it a little bit. He ain't got to be a superhero. That's only gonna be 30% change. The offense still gonna be the offense, and as long as Dak's cool with it, as long as Dak's good, they even had in one of these sound clips the verbiage ain't gonna change at all, which is funny because Mike McCarthy ain't know the damn verbiage anyway. But the verbiage ain't gonna change at all, and that's for the players or whatever. So 30% change. That's all we gonna get, man. Appreciate y'all for listening in, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Mike McCarthy, man, and watching Will Steele's rant about it. Let's get into these phones, man. Let's see what y'all talking about. How many people? What time is it? It's only 3:44. Will Steele, you want to talk about tight ends for like 2 seconds before we get on the phone?
Content, gotta save it, man. It's a long off season.
I want to talk about Darnell Washington so bad. Will, all right, man. Yeah. All right. I will say I normally don't watch tight end this early. I really don't like tight ends at all because I just, they just generally boring to me. But I watched Kincaid, I watched Laporta, I watched Mayer, who ain't as good, and I watched Darnell Washington. Boy, wide guard, Will Steele. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Your wide tackle.
It's a wide everything. Oh goodness. All right, man. We'll get to it, man. We'll get to it. Sometimes I see Matt Owen talk about people, man. I'm like, man, Matt Owen just up here doing the whole Georgia thing.
I was just about to say when he talked about his Georgia Bulldogs, he's not biased. He's obviously biased because he's a fan, but he'll tell you the real about him.
Yeah, and it makes sense. They're one of the best college football teams of all time the past couple of years, so of course they're gonna have all the talent in the world.
Kind of hard to miss on those dudes.
Oh, but that motherfucking boy, he ain't even the best tight end on the team. So, all right. But we'll talk about him later. We'll want to say the content, man. We'll want to say the content, man. So let's get into the phones. How many of y'all was How many of y'all was super high on Jalen Hyatt going into the combine process? Y'all thought he was gonna run that 4.29, and then Jalen.
You had to start there, man. I missed you talking to you, man. You didn't have to start with Jalen
I ain't
Hyatt,
never seen people get upset at 4.41 in my life.
4.41. Look, 4.41 fast as shit, but they expected 4.29. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk about it. But go ahead, DJ. What you got for the show? Kicking it off with you.
Oh boy, on Twitter was like, "Oh, 4.4 ain't fast enough for you." I was like, "Would it be fast enough for Deshaun Jackson?" No, it ain't fast enough, though. Golly.
Y'all
But,
killing me, man. Y'all killing me.
On this whole thing, man, of course, the Zeke news, or at least the talk, is disappointing to hear. You'd hope to hear a little bit of a different mindset on that. The Tyron thing, though, it's difficult all the way around, just because when he plays, he's still better than, let's say, 75% of the tackles out there, right? But the problem is that, like Scott was saying, is, you know, he's only had, 15, 16 games in the past 3 years. Mm-hmm. So his pay definitely, if it was me, his pay would definitely need to come down dramatically. But I would still try to do everything I could to kind of keep him on the roster. But it still has to make financial sense. And then moving forward with the play calling, me and Scott kind of talked about it this morning. Scott talked about it in depth. But as long as the situational down in, down out stuff makes sense, I don't want to see four curls ever again. I mean, I get that it's functional in some situations, but just not for every third and 8+ kind of situation. It'd be nice to kind of see that, that's the part I'm excited about, to kind of get a new direction, a new innovation. And it is the first time in almost a decade that we don't have some kind of Jason Garrett inspired offense. I forget the previous offensive coordinator, but before Kellen, but all of that's finally gone. So we have a new, fresh view on everything, because Mike McCarthy didn't even have the language or anything like that down. So
sure,
it'll definitely be good to see kind of everything that they're bringing to the table and have Dallas look completely different for once.
Sure. Fair enough. Less is more with these guys, for real. That's all you got, DJ?
Yeah, and then Jalen Hyatt hurt my heart. I don't know if you know, but I still think he's the functional, but he has moved down definitively to 3 on my book. But we could talk about that tomorrow or Thursday.
For sure. Appreciate you, my guy. Good call.
Yes,
Danny Savage in the chat. And boy, man, I be trying to ignore Danny Savage, man, because y'all know how he get. Danny say, Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin ran a 4.7. CeeDee Lamb ran a 4.5. Right, but those guys' game wasn't revolving around them being faster than people. You know what I mean? And we didn't expect those guys to be faster than everybody, right? Like Jackson Smith-Njigba ain't got to run a fast 40, because I know his game. I know what his game revolves around. I know how he gets open. I know how he quarterback friendly, whatever. But I know his game. So if he goes out there and run a 4.56 or whatever, okay, cool. That don't bother me at all, because I know what to expect from Jackson Smith-Njigba. Jalen Hyatt's game, and I was talking to Coach Evans about this too. He's in the chat. Shouts out to you, sir. I was talking about Jalen Hyatt's game, and I was curious. Me and Jeff talked about this also. Was it Jalen Hyatt being the fastest man in the world? Or was it more so he is fast? Don't get me wrong, Chad. We just
I'm waiting for you to finish.
This motherfucker fast as hell. Now don't get me wrong, bro. But just relative to what we thought, right? Is it that, or is it the wideness of the hash marks in college that gave him the advantage? Right? Yes, he's fast, and we've seen fast before, but working from the slot, how Tennessee plays offense, those hash marks, and he got a lot of room to navigate, right? And I was thinking one of Jalen Hyatt's biggest fights is what happens when the field gets tighter. Not because it ain't gonna get longer, but what happens when it gets tighter? Is he still gonna be able to navigate out of that slot and be fast like that or whatever? That was one of the biggest conversations, whatever. Now 4.4 ain't slow. No matter how you cut it, 4.4 ain't slow. But we were watching Jalen Hyatt and we was going, damn. Boy, I know he about to run a 4.3 something. You know what I'm saying? But I just do think
this is why I can't stand the combine. This is why I can't stand. Don't let the tape like don't ignore. I ain't saying you're ignoring it, right? But don't let it get cloudy because of the combine. This dude is game, speed, deep threat difference maker. Put it this way: 4.41, 9 times out of 10, you're faster than every single defensive back on the field.
Sure.
Like seriously, you're faster than probably every defensive back on the field anyway. Yep. And we're talking about if he gets, a running start or he's off the line of scrimmage or whatever, he's likely blowing by everyone. I know you're saying that it's a tighter field and that makes sense, but that's deep. Everybody got to adjust. All the receivers got to adjust to the NFL. But if you get a favorable look, and a lot of people call him one-trick pony, fine, he can be a one-trick pony, but that's what he does. And to me, 4.41 doesn't move me one bit because that's still extremely fast. And you put him on the field, he's likely going to outrun the corner on the other side of him.
I do agree with you. And this whole thought about Jalen Hyatt that I had, this was prior to combine, you know what I'm saying? But to your point, you know what I'm saying? Yes, he has game speed anyway. But my whole thought is, because sometimes you just got to ask questions, right? Like what does happen? Like, is he going to be that still? Like, he's going to be fast, but does a safety get over there quicker if the field is tighter? You know what I'm saying? Like right. Questions like that. You know what I mean? If you watch his Alabama tape, it is all safety not getting over there quick enough. You know what I'm saying? But if he moves in a different place.
But are you more concerned about his speed in the NFL, or are you more concerned about everything else that wide receiver wise? All right.
He's fast.
That answers the question.
He's fast, but prior to combine is, can he win with more than that? Can he win in different ways? There you go. And if all he got is speed, I want that speed to be mother speed. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I mean, I do think Jalen Hyatt is going to be a good player still. And honestly, he don't really move in my rankings at all. But I just do think that those are questions that we got to ask about. Go ahead.
The name in the chat that's popping up is John Ross. John Ross was nothing but speed, and it didn't matter.
Sure. Yep. There's a lot of space and honestly, all of my favorite receivers run 4.5s. To be fair, but Voch like route runners. Voch is partial to route runners and get yourself open guy. So that might be why all of my favorite wide receivers run a little slower. But
JSN, my guy, man, he was my guy weeks ago. I think he's a perfect fit for this team. But now he's looking at being wide receiver 1, and I don't think Cowboys got a shot.
Teams suck at drafting, Will Steele.
That's what I'm hoping.
Team's terrible at this. You know what I mean? And I don't think any wide receiver going the first, let's say 15 picks, right? Let's just say no wide receiver going the first 15 picks. And let's just say that teams still do have that Jalen Hyatt thing. Because what I want is for Jalen Hyatt to go first to bump the other 3 down so that we have an opportunity to get Jackson, Johnston, and Addison in that order for me. I would love for us to have a chance to get one of those guys, but teams suck at drafting, Will Steele. And what's going to help us is Anthony Richardson helped us because now we know that he's probably going to go higher anyway. It was question marks about whether he was going to go late or whatever. But Anthony Richardson going way up there, that helps us. There's a lot of cornerbacks that can play. That helps us. Those tight ends help us, even though we'll talk. But bumping those guys down the board a little bit. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba, I think he'll be there, Will Steele. But
it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen a wide receiver, not get taken in the first 15 picks or so. It's been a minute. Yeah.
The last time it happened was the Treadwell, Dotson. I forgot the third wide receiver in that group of 3. But that was the last time them dudes went like
in the teens. In the early 20s, yeah.
For sure. Let's get into it. 354, that ain't bad. Jake the Great, what's up, sir?
Yo, what's happening, Voch? Jake the Great, Will Steele, what's happening with you?
Cool, my guy. What you got for the show?
Hey, man, I just want to say I can never give you guys enough flowers, man, because as a person that keeps America moving by the trade of a truck driver, you feel me?
We appreciate you, man.
You guys helped me get through a lot of miles, and just say it was a tough week. Mark Holmes did his thing and tried to keep me occupied, boss, Cowboy, West Coast. But boy, listen, when you're missing the meat and potatoes of the thing, Will, Voch, you feel me? It's tough.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. That mean the world to me, man. That mean the world to me, Jake.
Man, Hey man, I mean it, bro. Before I go into my draft thing, are you familiar with the wide receiver A.T. Perry from
Wake Forest?
Wake Forest.
Yes, sir.
That's my nephew's homeboy. I watched the kid play football at Park Vista High School. He played with my nephew.
Good player.
What round do you think he would be going in? Because wherever he goes, I want to follow that kid. I dubbed him Little Megatron before he even went to Wake Forest.
Man, A.T. Perry, late third. I think it's weird because the wide receivers in this draft may bump him to like late third, but I think he's too good for early fourth. So he might be somebody's like comp pick or something. I don't know. But good player, good size, good movement, big slot kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Move him around a little bit. He'd be good to go. Some yak ability. I think he's a good player.
All right. And man, on some other note, I was watching the draft, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I can see why they changed the rules in the NFL, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a gentleman that's 360 running a 5 something, less than a 5 something in the 40,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm not allowed to be a Second Amendment guy, Voch, but I tell you what,
about you.
Well, if I see your big bear running after me like that, I'm gonna have to let you have one of them.
There you go.
Go ahead, man. I will cut you off. Go ahead.
No. Please. Go ahead. You good?
Oh yeah, but on that, did you see that dude? Do you believe he is Michael Parsons 2.0? What's his name? Noah Wilson?
Nolan Smith. Let me tell you something about Nolan Smith, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and use this call to get this point off about Nolan Smith. I was gonna wait till Tuesday, but I can't. I was gonna wait till Tuesday, but I can't. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, bro. Ain't no new film came out. Jake. So based on the film that we all had already, the combine numbers shouldn't really change how you feel about a player. I saw Nolan Smith. I ran straight here on the volume, 306. I say, God damn, Will Steele, this dude need to skip the line. You need to skip the line and go watch Nolan Smith right now. Okay. Now there's some other edges in this class that I don't like too much, and they being ranked way up in the high. Like guys like Luke Van Ness, he's a cool player. Guys like Keon White, who's a cool player. Guys like Miles Murphy, which I don't really get it, but those dudes have been ranked higher than Nolan Smith the whole process. Meanwhile, I'm looking at Nolan Smith and I'm like, man, he might be my second favorite edge. He might be top 3 for me. Oh, but old crazy Voch. Mel Kiper ain't say that, crazy Voch. Miles Murphy's the guy, crazy Voch. Miles Murphy gonna be a top 10, 6 overall lock, crazy Voch. And I'm just looking at the TV, Jake the Great, because me and you having a conversation now. I'm looking at TV and Daniel Jeremiah got Miles Murphy ranked at 19th. And I'm like, when the hell this happened? What's going on here?
It's crazy.
You know what else going to happen before the process is over, though, Jake? I'm sorry. You know what else is going to happen before the process is over, Jake the Great? We're going to be sitting around because earlier, Nolan Smith was being ranked in the 40s. And on all the PFF mocks, that motherfucker was going, he was always available for the Cowboys picks in the damn 26s. And Voch came on this mug, and I hate being told so, guy, because I'd be like Foots. Voch came on this mug and be like, hey, man, Nolan Smith at 26, that makes some sense to me. And before you know it, if Nolan Smith do his little combine, he ain't even eligible for Cowboys no more. Nolan Smith then combined his way out of damn Dallas range now. When this happened, the film ain't changed. He was fast on film. He was explosive on film. He was a run game play on film. He was blowing up the counter on film. He was setting the edge on film. He was pass rushing on film. He was covering the linebacker man and zone on film. He wasn't just coverage to be cute. He wasn't just dropping back in the flats. He was man covering tight ends and shit. But I'm so curious, what new film came out? What new film came out? So look, Jake the Great, I see that you like Nolan Smith. Look, that motherfucker, he ain't finna make it to Dallas, because if he on the board, you run to the podium to go get him. You run to the podium to go get Nolan Smith. But dog, he ain't gonna be that. Nolan Smith gonna be gone at 15 somewhere. That man gonna be gone at 15, 16 somewhere.
Who do you think you are? I am.
It was
everything you say.
It was fun while it lasted. Go ahead.
Ever since you made that prediction on CeeDee Lamb, everybody saying, Voch, who's the Cowboys going to draft? And you said it boldly. It don't matter, boss, because we drafted CeeDee Lamb. I said, man, Voch really on CeeDee Lamb. And sure enough, who we drafted? CeeDee Lamb.
Man, no,
Bro, I want you to go deep in that crystal ball and pull out a name for me. And I'm going to go to Vegas and say, man, that's who the Dallas Cowboys going to draft, man. So you can answer that once I hang up, because I know you got a lot of people calling, but thank you. And I appreciate y'all boys for what y'all do. Keep it up, man.
Appreciate you, my guy. Salute.
All right.
And we probably going to talk about this. Will Steele, I'm not mad. But I be hating all this brand new media shit, man. All these, hey, let me tell you about Nolan Smith, a guy that is. So where was he at 3 weeks ago when you was talking about Miles Murphy, man? I ain't gonna say nothing. What was I saying, man? What did he ask me?
All I know is if we draft Nolan Smith,
P.O.P. all the time.
You going to jail?
Going to jail. Excuse me, officer, why you put these handcuffs on me? Look, man, be easy on my watch, man. I don't want you to scratch up my watch while you putting these handcuffs on me, officer. We getting Nolan Smith. That's a rap, Will Steele. Come get me out of jail. Bring the bail money. Call
Brumley?
Yo, bro, finna be like, I'm here to pick up Voch Lombardi. We don't have a Voch Lombardi here. Damn, what's his real name? That guy. And before you know, I'm gonna be right back on the volume tomorrow.
Bro, Lee gonna come to jail like. Here I go.
I'm having a new tattoo. Fuck it. Will. Jake the Great asked me, what time is it? 1 o'clock?
The conference has been locked.
Jake the Great asked who I think the Cowboys pick is going to be, and this is something that we're definitely going to talk about Wednesday. I've done a video on the Voch Lombardi side just to kind of talk about it for a little bit. I think Cowboy fans going into this were really heavy on like wide receivers and like offensive line or whatever. And I do think that those two are important, but I don't think we've talked enough about pass rusher, tight end, and cornerback. So Wednesday we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. About the idea the Cowboys could go that pick and the players that the Cowboys have been talking to. But if I had to make a guess, Jake the Great asked me to guess, who I think the Cowboys are going to walk away with. I sincerely feel like the board is just going to play out. I think there's going to be a run on tackles. There's going to be a run on wide receivers, and like right before us. Like the last wide receiver I want going to go at like 24 or something. And I think the best player there is probably going to be a corner.
I was about to say corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Dallas probably is going to draft cornerback too first in the first. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be the best dude.
Still early.
That might be Deontay Banks. Yeah.
Yeah, still early. We got free agency, but they caught me by surprise taking a DE last year. Not the player because they like Sam, but that's not what I had on the bingo card.
Sure.
In the second round. So they could do something similar again.
Yeah. Fair enough. Another corner to stop the run. That's half the problem. That'll help you. Let's get Los on the phone. What's up, Los?
Yo, good afternoon, Voch. Good afternoon, Sky. I hope
yo.
y'all chilling and cooling, you know what I'm saying?
Life is good, sir.
Making our big money.
Life is good, sir. Buenos tardes. Nice to meet you. All that good stuff. What you got for us, though?
Hey, buenos tardes, mi amigo, Voch. Hey,
my man.
Hey, just a one real quick thing, Voch.
Sure.
I mean, I'm with you where you're coming from and just not tagging Pollard and letting Zeke go. But we know they're going to make it next year, probably their last year to play as a running back duo.
Yeah.
And I think that's just Steven and Jones and Jerry Jones want to make at least them right about the running back. Mm-hmm. But however, I did mention to Sky about Chase Brown, and there's other running backs you can go on the list. And you can just get them on the team. Like you said, starting lineup and just put him and go. And man, if you would have given me Chase Brown and Tank, I forgot his last name. Man, I'm already set on running back. Yeah. But that's here and there, Voch. Yeah. So in that concept, I feel like if we're gonna get the most out of the running game, I feel like we got to beef up our O-line even more.
Sure.
So, if you were to pick a O-lineman that will beneficial the running game today, that can fall into your hands, who would it be? And that's my last question to you, Voch and Scott.
Appreciate you, Los. If I had to pick an offensive lineman, man, the the downside to winning games that you got to pick at the back of the draft. And I don't really know how teams are going to value some of these tackles. I think, some of these tackles going to get pushed up the board. I think guys like Darnell Wright have gotten pushed up. DeJuan Jones, who I love to pieces, he's gotten pushed up. Skoronski's probably going to go earliest. I think Paris is going to go after him, and I'm not even for sure about that. But I think, get a guy like Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. He's a name that the Cowboys have talked to during this combine process, and he's a guy that I like. Left tackle for you, him and Broderick Johnson. It's a lot of Jones and Johnsons in this draft or whatever. So like, if I mix it up, pardon me,
Broderick would be fun.
Broderick from Georgia. Broderick can play guard and tackle. I think that's important. Yep. Or whatever. He's another left side player for you. If it's up to me, I'm probably gonna leave him at tackle because Tyler at guard is just so.
Ooh, him and Tyler next to each other would be
just let them dudes maul dudes, man. Just let them move people from point A to point B and just be fine. I don't think Broderick could be there though. If I do have to hope though, like if I had to pick out of an offensive lineman that I think will be there, it'll probably be Anton. If I had a guy that in a most, boy, I would be ecstatic if it was this dude, it'll be Broderick for me. Because I think people are gonna love Paris and I think people are gonna love Peter, but I just like Broderick a little more than both those guys, but that's just me.
Yeah, Broderick is the guy for me. I would love for him to be there. And you said something that I'll touch on tomorrow about Will McClay. You talked about the versatility. When he dived into that on the draft show, he got really pumped up, and they're serious about that. So that's a little nugget to think about when they're drafting offensive linemen.
Sure. Somebody in the chat asked about John Michael Smiths. I love John Michael Smiths. I love him pieces. I'll take him at 26. I just don't know if he's going to be a 26 guy for Cowboys. Because look, the funny thing about this draft, the only picks that are purely, I don't want to say like scripted or in stone or whatever, is like the first 6 or so guys. A player that you can get at 9 can be the same player that you get at 17. And just like the dude that you get at 17 can be the same player that you get at 28. You know what I mean? So I definitely don't know who's going to be there. The Cowboys could be in a situation where Drew Sanders is on the board, but he could be taken before that. The Cowboys can be in a situation where John Michael is there, but there could be 3 other guys better than him. There's no way Nolan Smith's going to be there, but never know. He could be. If he is there, you run to the podium. Johnston, go ahead.
What about this though? What if they don't take one? And what if it's not day 1? What if it's day 2? What if it's round 2 or 3?
Offensive tackle,
guard.
Guard.
It could be tackle, but somebody that can either slide into guard or somebody that can stay tackle and move Tyler into guard.
So this is my problem about the real good offensive linemen. We won too many games, bro. The teams at the front of the second round, they get the most value out of anybody. They get all the value in the world. Teams at the because that's where the draft get good, and the price goes down because it's not first round picks. But man, if you picking like 37, it's about 10 dudes you can get, and all of them dudes are good. All them dudes is gangsters. So we could be like Steve Avila, TCU. We could be like John Michael Smith, Minnesota. We could be like Anton Harris, Oklahoma. DeJuan Jones, Ohio State. Man, them dudes ain't gonna be there at 60. You know what I'm saying? So, or at 50, whatever. So we have to think about that. We have to think about the guys that are there and will they or not be there. So yeah, John Michael Smith is a guy that I would take at 26. But somebody better than him might be there at 26. But by the time I get to 58, man, John Michael ain't finna be there. Steve Avila ain't finna be there. Osiris might be there and I'd be upset, but go ahead.
So is that an indictment on your development? Because if you can't develop a 3rd round guy ever, because that's kind of what's happening here, besides maybe the center, is that an issue? Because you should be able to get a guy in the 3rd round, 4th round at guard and be able to survive, right? I guess you can say McGovern was developed in a way, right? So maybe I shouldn't say ever, but most teams don't take 1st round guys all the time. Most teams don't take 2nd round guys all the time. So a lot of these lines are a mix of mid-round dudes, 1st rounder here and there, and some free agents. So I would hope that they could take somebody in day 2 or 3 and make it work.
it just all comes down to my confidence, right? Like, yeah, we can draft a guy and develop a guy, and maybe like, you know, next year or something, he'll probably be ready. But if I'm looking at a guard in the later rounds and I'm like, all right, it's y'all versus Tyler Smith, you know what I mean? I want somebody that's gonna come in and like be one of them dudes. For Steve Avila can play right now. John Michael Smith's you know, Whippler's center or whatever, like Voorhees was, but you know, but he got hurt or whatever.
Voch game. But are you willing to go one of those offensive linemen, Nolan Smith, one of those offensive linemen, JSN, one of those offensive linemen? You get what I'm saying? So now who's on that board?
I'm picking Jackson and Nolan over all the guards.
Over everybody.
All the guards.
Okay.
Now, if it come down to like Broderick or something, I think Broderick versus Jackson might be closer than Broderick versus Nolan. I think Nolan was already good, but I just think with this combine thing, like his hype gonna be like Nolan's gonna be going around.
I don't think I'm with you. I don't think this draft class for defensive ends, the pass rushers, is like that. So I think he's just gonna jump up high.
For sure. But if I had to pick out of like Jackson and Jigba or like a Vila or something, I'm picking Jackson Smith and Jigba for sure.
Okay. That's something they may be faced with, right? Is one of those talented offensive linemen may be there, but do you want to sacrifice some of those other positions you've kind of been ignoring? A defensive tackle, I ain't saying you were ignoring receiver, but you know you need that help. Tight end might be a thing. But we'll talk about that another day. But that's something I think they'll be facing.
Which is why trading back and getting like an extra third round pick would be massive. It just massive for me. But moving on. Professor O says today we learned Voch likes all the Georgia guys. I mean, what you want me to say? What you want me to say? Who else Georgia got? Georgia got a free safety that's good. Keely Ringo. Hey, look, Dallas met with him. Ringo's another guy. Now Ringo's a guy. If you don't get Ringo, if you don't get a corner in the first round, if you end up with like a Ringo type guy in the second, I don't think he'll be there. But if you end up with a guy like that in the second, you going to Golden Corral, bro. You're good to go. You going to the sushi spot.
Creative genius, and I'm surprised you ain't bringing this up, but Butte, is it Butte or Booty or whatever, which one it is? The receiver who had an awful combine.
Horrible combine. Yes. He's another example of,
tape combine.
Film ain't gonna change my grades. But the best part about it is if his 40 time ended up bad, then I've gone from let's take Butte in the second to cool. We can get Butte in the fourth now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm still on that team. But if he tanked his own value, fine. I'll just get him later because I believe in the dude on the film. Now, if he gets pushed all the way back, you just giving yourself more room to be wrong about him, right? Because if you take him in the second and he bad, then that's on you. If you take him in the fourth or the fifth and he bad, it's a fourth or a fifth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we're just shooting dice in the bathroom. Big A, what's happening?
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's good, my guy? What you got for the show?
Oh, I'm doing good. So I know this is more. I just wanted to come on and I wanted to come on just after looking at the combine this weekend. And I just wanted to just this. It's probably more of a Tuesday, Thursday question, but just in general, like after this weekend and seeing all this athletic testing, I understand you guys don't put a lot of stock in the combine, but just looking at all these athletic testing numbers that's come up a bit more, do you feel more confident of Dallas nailing their first two picks, or do you feel less, or does it shift? Is there a shift of any kind? And how you feel of them nailing those first two picks, or do you feel like the guys that you were looking at initially, they're going to be gone, so maybe they should move back and get more picks or something like that?
Cowboys normally nail their first pick anyway. Yep. So I have and I kind of get upset when Cowboy fans still say like taco name, like, you know what I mean, like stop saying his name, bro, like that don't even matter anymore. So yeah, I'm good with whoever they get. Like if they like him in the first round, then cool. I'm just gonna ride with with what the Cowboys say. Second round is different because they tend to take risks sometimes medically, or they take risks with character guy. They take risks with a guy that they thought that was good and he probably wasn't or whatever. So what's my confidence level on that? I mean, my confidence level for the Cowboys in the second round is like what any other team's confidence would be in a regular draft situation. You know what I mean? Sometimes we hit and boy, when we hit in the second round, we hit, we smash. You know what I'm saying? But when we wrong, we wrong. Like we wrong like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, so
50-50.
so like 50-50. Like I'm good with the first round, second round, we shooting dice in the bathroom. We'll see.
Okay. Cool. I don't know. I'm not trying to make it. For me personally, I feel like for the most part, regardless of what position they take, outside of maybe quarterback or something like that, I feel like I feel a little bit more confident because I feel like I see outside of the positions that already had depth. I think I see a little bit more depth than I didn't previously weren't aware of. Just from this past weekend, because it takes me a while to get into these players.
Yeah.
So I feel like I see a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit more confident in what position, and regardless of what position they go after, to really nail those first two picks. But it's gonna be on them at the end of the day.
Yeah. Trust them. Trust your Cowboys, man. Trust them. Appreciate you though, Big A. Good call, man.
Okay, sure, no problem. See you.
Good call, yes, sir. Devon Overton said Vander Esch didn't have a bad career here. Vander Esch ain't a guy that, that's a like an all-star, nothing like that. But it was Vander Esch, Harold Landry, and who's
Edmonds.
Tremaine, yeah, but come on. And who else? It was a linebacker from Oklahoma. Where'd he go? He was another guy that was kind of in that conversation, whatever. But
the safety was in that conversation too. Remember?
Nah, he was ahead of us. Derwin James.
It was in that area.
Yeah, that little. And I'm sure we'd have took Derwin James if he was there. But Vander Esch,
you think they ain't taking no damn safety? That's what they do.
That's fair. But Vander Esch had a first good couple years, and then like injury happened, and we weren't going to be able to know that was going to be a thing. But Vander Esch had a solid last year. He came back for another year. Now he's probably going to be gone this year. And we could talk about that like on another Cowboy day, like things that's going on with him and Donovan Wilson, just some of the guys that we're choosing to not re-sign, and like Tyron and Zeke and like that whole conversation. We can do that if you want to. But I don't think Vander Esch was a bad first round pick, considering that people actually have bad first round picks. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like there's teams that completely whiff, where Dallas got an all-pro year out of him, another solid year, and then kind of meh years in between. That's fair.
Played a long time. So everybody ain't gonna be superstars,
I just trust Will, man. I trust Will McClay. As long as Jerry doesn't get the itch in the second round to take a character issue or injury issue, I feel like Will usually will get you right.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's get Jack on the phone. What's up, Jack?
Yeah. Hey, Voch.
What's good, sir?
Hey, Scott.
You.
What's hell? Welcome back, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
What's good with you, my guy?
Good to hear from you.
I'll to you first. I'm glad you guys are good. You know what I'm saying? Got a chance to refresh. Congratulations on the new move, Scott. We talked earlier. But yeah, with all due disrespect, baby. Ooh, Voch, God, Jack back, baby. We got it. So,
okay.
I want to play devil's advocate like I did this morning, right? Now I heard everything that you said about the draft picks and all of that. So it was one guy that you were mentioning before y'all went on vacation, before y'all took a little hiatus.
Right.
Jalen Carter going through his little situation, right?
Right.
Just saying.
Turn down your traffic.
And Jerry Jones like players with a little dirt on their coat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now it's quite possible that Jalen Carter drops out of the top 10 just because of the attention that he's going to get, because he's projected to be in the top 5, right? So he could drop out of the top 10 and possibly be there at 26. Now, out of Jackson and Jigba and all of those players that you named, Do you take Jalen Carter over him? Over them?
Let me tell you something, man. Jalen Carter, the best player in this draft, and it's gonna take a lot more than a warrant for his arrest to get him up out of there. You know. Now every team gonna do their research. Everybody's gonna hire private investigators. Everybody gonna talk to the district attorneys. Everybody gonna get conversation to see what's going on. If Jalen Carter is relatively a free man, even if he got to do community service and probation and play football with an ankle monitor, he going first overall. Mm-hmm. If Jalen Carter is available at 26, there's not a player that I would prefer over Jalen Carter. That just is what it is. Okay. But in real life,
it is what it is.
But in real life, man, if he fall, he ain't falling far. if he ain't there, he ain't falling no farther than third overall. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that question, and then it's a two-part question. Mm-hmm. And just like I was telling Scott earlier, you know, all of the players from Maryland that ran the combine, that did their thing, they did their thing. They showed up. And
Maryland,
I feel like all of the players that stood out mm-hmm. in the combine, I think it was better for Dallas because all of those players really mm-hmm. were under the radar of the team. And I don't think that they had a lot of those players like the boy from Northwestern, and a couple of running backs. Yeah. I don't think that they had them quite on their radar. And I think that sets up good. Like this the boy that ran the 4.49, the deep tackle. I don't think he was really on he was projected in the top 20.
He is not.
As far as picks.
No, yeah.
And I think he could slide down to 26.
No, he's not.
And he would be a good interior. He's strong and he's fast.
Oh, he's talking about Kansas.
I think that would be a good look.
Yeah. I like Kansas from Pittsburgh. I wish people wouldn't, keep saying Aaron Donald name with him. Kansas is a good player, but yeah. But I mean, I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't really have a good read for where he's gonna go just yet. But yeah, Kansas is a player that can help you, but I don't think he's on Dallas's radar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. But gentlemen, always a pleasure and an honor. You already know. If ain't nobody else got you, Jack got you.
Appreciate you.
Got it, bitch, and I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, Jack. We love you, man. Salute. Will, listen, Will, let me tell you something, man. Jalen Carter could have raided the damn Capitol building on the 6th.
Oh, damn.
That motherfucker. Dog. He ain't falling far, bro. He ain't far, bro. Jalen, dog. It's not there is no amount of weed that he could be caught with. There's no amount of cocaine in his trunk smuggling across the border. There's no amount of guns under his seat that's gonna keep that young man from. I'll just say top 3 to be safe. I just say top 3 to be safe because the Bears might make a mistake and go with the safe guy. Who's the GM for the Bears? Chad, if y'all don't mind.
Ryan, I forget, Poles, I think.
Let me tell you something. Is he a married man?
I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna go there, but Jalen Carter can do something despicable to his household.
No.
Despicable to his household. And I ain't gonna say nothing else. He going first overall.
What?
You remember Sergeant Hartman in Full Metal Jacket? He say, "I like you. I might mention, what I'm saying? Come on over and smash my sister. All that. If Jalen Carter smashes, he going first overall. Will Steele. That's just what it is. That's just what it is, bro.
It is what it is.
So this arrest warrant. Like they're gonna be like, okay, so there's a warrant for his arrest, he got arrested, he's out. But what's the end result in this? That's basically what they're gonna ask for. And if he gotta miss football because of jail time, maybe he falls.
Oh my God. So here's a good thing is that this is happening now and not like Lyell, where the day before the draft, oh, by the way, your ex is came up, dead, and you the last person that talked to her. They said, "Oh, we not touching Lyle Collins."
First overall. Wow. We heard you was in the car. Jalen Smith, look, Jalen Carter can have gun residue on his hand, and he was in the car. He going first overall. Wills. That's how I feel. That's how I feel, man. That dude just different, man. And draft evolves, man. There will never be another Lyle Collins situation. There'll never be another gas mask situation. You know what they're gonna say, man? He regrets that video came out. He's gonna educate himself on the pros and cons of smoking weed in public on the internet, and he's gonna be a fine player for this organization, ain't you? That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, jeez. How many sports shows does the actual definition of cuck?
Jalen Carter can fire up a blunt in front of Roger Goodell. That motherfucker, Jalen Carter, he'll get up, hug his mama, hug his girlfriend, hug his agent, put his hat. Shit sound like a Lil Wayne song.
Lil Wayne. Young Money.
And smoke a blunt on the way to Roger Goodell. First overall. It's just different, man. That dude can play, man. That dude can play, bro. Moving on. So yeah, if he ain't missing no jail, I almost made a boss man fat joke, but somebody lost their life. We gonna be sensitive. You niggas are crazy. We gonna be sensitive. But boy, let's get MJ on the phone. See what he talking about. What's up, MJ?
Hey guys, how you doing? What's up, Steele?
Hello, sir.
How you doing, fam?
Life is
good.
Hey
man, I like your what you talking about. They like Michael Smith. He can play guard or center.
Who?
Michael, the guard from Minnesota.
John Michael Smith. John Michael Smith. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Michael
and then what's that?
Vita Guerrero.
Pick in the second round.
Vita Guerrero. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But, TCU. Right.
But now, what you just said with the DN from Georgia,
Nolan Smith.
Yeah. You got me thinking now, because I wasn't thinking about him. Right. But now that do make sense. Yeah. Because if we can get him, and then check this out, Still, I'm gonna tell y'all something. The Michigan cornerback is cold-blooded.
The Michigan cornerback?
They ran the 4.
Okay,
Michigan, number 5 for Michigan. He ran a 4.2 trey.
They ran past him a lot too.
They ran the 4.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead.
And then the receiver, Steele, that run better routes. That run better routes than the Tennessee receiver. The Nebraska receiver, number 5.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on, man. You say the receiver that run better routes than the Tennessee receiver. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, okay.
But the receiver for Nebraska, he had a fast time. He ran like a 4.31.
Okay, that's what you're saying. I got you.
I think it's like 6'1", 6'2", fast.
Right.
And you see it when you watch his film, Voch. Yeah. Go watch his film tonight. It's number 5. You go see how you go. Oh, okay, this guy could play.
Yeah, I'll get that.
You gotta remember, they don't have no. The Tennessee quarterback was better than the Nebraska quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of speed there that I know my man Will, that I trust ain't gonna do good. So I'm not worried about that. And another thing is your boy Michael Lombardi. I kept telling you, they killed Video King Raheem.
Me?
That's Kellen Moore.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Joystick, yeah.
Offensive, yeah, joystick.
Yeah,
call him Mr. Joystick.
Joystick, yeah.
That's him. In situations, he always do a boo-boo. 2nd and 2, throw a pass, making our quarterback look stupid.
Yeah.
Got the whole world hating the quarterback.
Yeah.
If you ran the right plays, this quarterback probably could have took us a long way. But we got a dumb, what y'all call them stupid routes.
Yeah, option routes.
You can't even get to see how Simi play.
Right.
You don't know how all the receivers can play. But now, like I was telling Steele the other day, the receivers get to run fresh routes, the real routes.
Right.
And we're going to see what their potential is like.
Right.
This is going to come to who has the better hands now instead of who's running the better routes.
Right.
That's who's going to make the team. And I'm saying it right now, still, but I think number 4, Dak Prescott, is going to be the comeback player of the year with this new offense.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right now.
They ain't going to give it to him, though.
Wait, how's it going?
Yeah.
How? He played.
How, MJ? Go ahead.
Yeah, because they're gonna hate on him. You know they like to hate on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's how they make money. They use us to hate on. That's how everybody make money.
Right.
They talk about, and I told my friend, y'all gonna crack up because I'm in LA. I call Kellen Moore the Russell Westbrook of the Cowboys. He's a stat man, but he can never win. That's Kellen Moore. And I told my friends up here in San Diego, your receivers from San Diego gonna be pissed because Denver know the Cowboys route tree, and they gonna be picking that quarterback off. Gonna make that quarterback horrible.
Yeah. Shit. I appreciate
Okay, go ahead. Yes, sir.
I appreciate
Love your show.
Yes, sir. Love you. Appreciate you, man.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Why you hitting with the
yes. Listen though, man. If anything, Marv is well. What's the word for well watched in film? Well watched,
well versed or something.
You know, like well traveled, well read. He's well studied in film. That motherfucker know a little bit about everybody, and I ain't even got there yet. But he don't know their name.
He don't know their name, but he know their number.
He know their number, and if he know their name, he may not say it right. But long as he got a school and a jersey, and I mean, you can put the piece together. You can just context clues your way through it. But
you give him his Gmail, he gonna find the name.
That boy said Michael Smith. I thought he was talking about do it at ESPN. I said Michael Smith. Who's that? You know, the guard from Minnesota. John Michael Smith. That's who you talking about.
I ain't never gonna forget what he said. Hold on, let me check my Gmail when he was trying to find.
Wait a minute. Here we go.
He was trying to find. Let's go.
Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Shit. Hold on.
I gotta check my Gmail.
We actually have that video out, man. We need to go find it. But Marv is a character. Last call for the day. 618. What's up? Who this?
Hey, yo, this is Chris.
What's up, man? What you got? What's up? What's up, Chris?
What's up? So my main question was, with Mike McCarthy saying that the offense is gonna change about 30 to 35%, do you worry at all about him bringing back the option routes, or are you thinking he's gonna go back to a one route system and maybe sometimes do option routes, or maybe just do option routes with tight ends?
Mike has publicly, in front of everybody, and Kellen.
Yeah, I remember him saying that. Like, he hates
notoriously said.
Yeah, I really don't.
Okay, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
To this, but
please, I'll let you finish.
I would like, if he's gonna use any option route, I think it should be tight end every once in a while. Like, think about Jason Witten. He did it with Jason Garrett. He did it with Jason Witten,
right?
Back in his days.
Yep.
Every once in a while, or when they needed to. But I am very excited for this next year. I'm hoping we at least get another wide receiver in free agency, or at least get one in the draft. To add to that Jalen Carter thing, I guarantee if Jalen Carter did a Michael Vick, he'd still go top 10.
Yeah. Nah. They're not gonna let that happen. They are not gonna let another Mike Vick happen. Nah, they're gonna get him up out of there.
Marcus B.
I don't know, man. All right, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Appreciate.
I'm really excited for that.
Please, I'll let you finish. All right, Chris. I appreciate you, man. This was a good call. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna put you down.
As what?
All right.
As Chris. I appreciate you, Chris.
About to say platinum.
All right.
Like I was trying to say,
Marcus B said, caller, according to my calculations, head ass.
Hey, Will Steele, real fast though, man. What you did you have anything on that? What you think about the option route things?
Well, I feel like
I agree, man. I do feel like that. You know, he did say that, and you know what I'm saying. You know, yeah. But Will Steele, I tell you what, man, and you know, man, Nolan Smith, man, they gonna have to respect him at some point. All right, let's move on to Super. Let's move on to Super.
Yo, like callers, like look, dog, like we're not. This is just funny. First of all,
This is fun. This is fun, Chris. We don't hate you, but that was funny.
But fam, you gotta let him answer the question.
Look, Chris has no clue what I think about option routes. Chris has no answer on what I feel about option routes.
Yeah, he publicly came out. Yeah, I know, but Kellen Moore, this is his offense.
I probably had a good answer. I probably had some shit, Will Steele, but no,
shit.
You want to hear me?
Oh man, y'all crazy, man.
Damn, that's funny, bro. But yeah, man, that Jalen Carter shit. He moved right on.
He moved right past that shit. Fuck them option routes. We won't talk about.
It's my turn. It is. You told me it was my turn.
Oh God.
Oh boy. Oh shit. Oh goodness, man. That's funny, man. Hey, Voch, what you think? Well, I think. This is what I think. No way.
It doesn't matter what you think.
No way. No way. Oh goodness, man.
All right, man. We quit. All right.
Let's get to the supers, man. Who else has a show like this, man? We gonna keep reminding y'all to hit that like button. You know, I don't think we remind y'all enough. Keep hitting that like button because nobody else gonna get y'all a show like this, man.
Said Chris said brother was answering his own question.
They say verify as you. Well, shit, I gotta. I ain't doing that shit right now. Yeah, I'll definitely do that later. I ain't got time. I'll do it later. But I'm just looking. L did say some funds for the studio 2023. I ain't doing nothing else. Appreciate you, L. About to employ L, man. L's about to join the Voch's voice squad. So shouts out to him, man.
Salute. Well deserved.
Sure. Assuming this email go right when I read it, you know. But we'll see. And on the Voch side, let's see what happens here. Hit refresh.
I'm sorry, but according to my calculations, head ass is crazy.
According to my actually, it's crazy. Everybody know what actually got. Oh man, Chris, like I said, we're not making fun of you. We want you to continue watching the show, man. But that was hilarious.
Yeah.
The Shirley JB show dropped 50 in the super chat. Damn. Appreciate you. They say, happy belated birthday, little brother. Love from your big brother. Oh, it's JB, man. My brother JB. Well, shit, man. One more time, JB. Appreciate you, man. Call me, man. You got my number. Think about dudes, though, Will Steele. Think about dudes, and me and you've had this conversation before. Is dudes ain't got to talk every day. You know what I'm saying? Like we can go a long time without actually having a conversation with each other, but when we get back up, like it's all love.
Yep.
If JB, I ain't talked to JB in a long time, but if he come to Houston today, we going fishing. We just gonna talk to each other for 8 hours. Like, and I'm not gonna ask him, oh, you acting funny now, huh? Because you ain't talked to me.
Nah,
man, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna get right back up, man. Shouts out to you, bro. Love you, man. Call me.
If you solid with Voch, you solid with me, JB. Salute.
It's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. That's how we move. And Will can move in confidence because I wouldn't have, weird people in my circle. So
that remind me of camp when we had that off day and people, what y'all gonna do? We ain't gotta be up each other's butt all damn day. I'm chilling, dog. I'm tired.
He in his room. He chilling.
What are
you doing, man? Like, it ain't gotta be an activity every day. This ain't no adventure. We working.
We working, right?
Yeah, we gonna be resting from work. It be hot in Oxnard, man. We be tired as hell, man. We walk around all day. We shake hands.
Then the one time we try to go to a little something. I forget the shout out to the old what do they call? I don't want to mess it up.
Hard hitters.
The hard hitters. Yeah, I almost called them the OCs. The hard hitters. The one time we try to go to one. We get there a little bit late because Voch, and we mess it all up. But yeah, it's what it is.
We're going back next time. We're gonna be on time next time.
On time. I'm trying to get on time.
We're gonna help set up next time. A DJ Drop 5, he says, I'm supposed to be okay with Hyatt being 0.08 faster than any defensive tackle. He's supposed to be the speed guy. I'm just trolling. Mostly. It's fair though. That's fair. Trey said, "Happy belated birthday, Voch. Appreciate you, Trey. Salute, man. 31 years old, man. 31 years old. I feel good. How much time? It's still kind of early. Chat. Y'all got something? We got 5 minutes. Will got 5 minutes. You cool with 5 minutes?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. Chat. Y'all got something? We'll just talk to y'all for a little bit. What y'all got?
Jay Guzman say, do we think that Dallas will bring in a veteran wide receiver? And he says D-Hop, Stephen Diggs.
That's one thing that we didn't talk about, Will. Still, what do you think of this big thing?
Man,
it was. I don't personally, but Will, what you think this big thing is?
Nothing. Maybe to move some money around. Maybe it's not even real. I know that Broader said something about it on his podcast. Shout out to B. But I don't think anybody else has mentioned anything about a big thing happening.
Yeah, I'll just wait to see what happens.
Believe it when I see it.
Gelkin did touch on it a little bit, but and then Clarence came out and said, "Ain't nothing happening," but you know how that go. Well, hey, if anything happens, we'll see. Yeah. That's a good part about it. If anything happens, we'll see.
The big thing is, hey, they're looking to add weapons. I know, because they was looking to do it at the trade deadline.
Sure. And the best part about it, if anything happens, we're gonna jump right on this mug, and y'all gonna have some brand new content. So don't even worry about it.
I tell you what, I seen some stuff on Twitter. There are people that are not for DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm dumbfounded.
Why not D-Hop?
People afraid of his age, I guess. Money. I don't care about any of that.
Trying to win ball games, man.
As long as he don't get suspended, D-Hop is still one of them ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they said a second round pick and get it done.
He got popped for PD, so that's even better. That motherfucker take his craft seriously. If anything, like he wants to put in the extra work to be great. And look, evidence shows that every time somebody get popped for PEDs or whatever, they always sit out for 4 games or something like that. But after that 4 games, they'd be incredible. So sure, take the PEDs and let it muster in your system real good. You missed them 4 games and shit, come back better than ever, man. I don't care. Look, you can call them old or whatever. You can't leave stones unturned when you have a team in your division that don't leave stones unturned. So is DeAndre Hopkins better than Noah Brown?
Too similar. I just saw Cleveland said some say D-Hop and Lamb are too similar. I don't, give me 2 Lambs. I don't care.
You
give
fucking got 2 CD Lambs, nigga. Give me 2 of them. I'll take both of them.
Shit,
and they not terribly similar. No. But
look,
you know, they build.
Do the Cardinals want? Will they take Gallup off our hands?
Gallup.
That's what I'm saying. Like if we need to make the money work. But listen, I'm here for what's the saying? I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Not a long time. Yep.
I'm not looking to keep Hop for 5 years. I'm looking to try to get a ring within 2 to 3.
Yeah. That's all we got, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Good little conversation, bro. We'll talk about other Cowboy things next time. Because the whole Jalen Ramsey thing happened. We could have gone deeper into the Bobby Wagner thing, but the key word in vacation is the vacate. Me and Will still just going to show up to talk about one thing. So, if y'all want to talk about that Wednesday, we can do it in the Q&A segment. But hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Every day that y'all come in here and tap in with us, hit the like button, man. Yeah, y'all not getting another show like this, man. So just hit the like button, bro. Hit the like button and just support us. That's the best way to support. That is our virtual currency. If you wanna, you ain't got to spend a dime to hit that like button, man, and it just helps us out. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. I watch film in full on Patreon, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. My non-football platform is twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. We did a John Jones reaction over there. We watched John Jones fights all the way up until the the fight day. We play games over there. We listen to music over there. We watch videos and react and things like this. Dope little setup over there. And follow Will Steele at Skywalker Steele Skywalker.
It's been a minute.
Rusty Skywalker STEELE, and in the morning at A to Z Dallas from 8:30. You was on time today, boy. You was early from 8:20 to till about 10:15 or so. Will, right before we leave, quickly, who's the better rapper of all time, Jay-Z or Lil Wayne?
Jay-Z.
All right, knew your answer. All right, y'all never know she was a piece of Weezy, man. Until next time, Weezy the best volume.
Beats Planet.